All right, so basically this video is kind of just me ranting really. Anywho, this is the reality of playing solo squads, right? Like you're not gonna hop in here like your average Joe, right? There's people that are cracked and, whatever the case may be, right? But hold up, I need to turn my mic down. Anywho, um your average Joe's not gonna get in here and drop 60 kills, right? That's not the reality of the situation, right? If you got other things going on in life and like you play the game but like not no life it, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get in here and drop like 60 kills. Now, realistically, what ends up happening is um the way the matchmaking works, right? You'll have like say like 10 games, right? Out of those 10 games, 8 of those are going to be like the lobbies are going to be cracked, like you're going up against the people in your like KD range or however the matchmaking works, right? And then 2 of those games will be like really bad, right? Like that's just how like the lobby's bad. That's what I mean. And then those 2 games will probably be your best games, but you have to make the most out of those 2 games, right? And sometimes that doesn't happen. In my case, like I don't always, what's it called, jump in there and have a positive KD or anywho. Um, so obviously, if you're like using a VPN or two boxing, yes, the lobbies are gonna be easier. Therefore, you could drop these crazy amount of kills, right? But that's not really the reality of the situation. Um, sometimes what like a lot of the times people are gonna post right or like clip the bad teams because that's how like obviously there's people that are good and they get clips on good people, right? But like think about how many clips you see of people like taking out you know people that can't play as opposed to like really good people, right? Because it's hard, like duh, it's like challenging, like it's not supposed to be easy, right? Like if somebody's good at the game, you're not just gonna go up and wipe them out, but I'm mainly just making this video just to rant, you know what I'm saying? And like kind of display that like, hey, because I think there's more so, granted, the algorithm don't like this, but that's beside the point, right? Like what sells, it's like, oh, I dropped this amount of kills, da, da, da. And let it be known, I'm not like hating or bashing, right? You do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? This is just more so a realistic take on like, hey, this is what it actually looks like. And like, it's not what is being portrayed. Like what's being portrayed is not like it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not as easy. I mainly play, excuse me. I mainly play solo squads, right? That's what I do. I enjoy playing it. I think there's something that could be said about like one person taking out a whole squad. Now how often does that happen? Not really happen. And not a whole lot, right? In my case anyway. But yeah, I think that's why I play it. I personally like it. I think it makes me a better player. I do play ranked rebirth too, and then I play ranked multiplayer. Not a whole lot, but I mainly just play the ranked games and then solo squads. That's on rebirth. That's really what I do. I tried playing on Warzone, but Warzone's a little bit more challenging. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's harder on there, and then it's a little bit slower. I like the rebirth because the pace. The pace is kind of like multiplayer, and so it's kind of just a constant state of like running and gunning, and like you know doing what you got to do. But that's kind of my rant. I haven't really posted like a win because I haven't got one, but I also haven't been playing, right? Because like life and other responsibilities. But yeah, this is just me rambling essentially, and I like the game, I'm having fun, that's people bash on it or whatever, that's to each their own, but I personally enjoy playing it. Obviously it is a bit frustrating when I get in there and just get, schwacked, but it is what it is. So typically what I do or like to do is land somewhere where I'm comfortable, right? So in Havens Hollow, Coal Depot is like the spot I go to. Like I like it. I know the layout. I know where the boxes are gonna be at. I know everything. Not everything, but I got a good concept of the map, right? So I land to sometimes I look around, see if I'm contested. In this case, I know somebody's here, right? So and I just saw him and I only heard him. So I'm like I'm getting this kill. You know, like I'm right now, I'm like locking in mentally. Like I'm like, yo, this dude's gonna come out. I'm listening for him, and I'm like, I'm ready. I was gonna jump in there, but I don't have like, I didn't have a SMG. And then he could have killed me. So, but clearly, like I was saying, this is one of these bad games. This is like after I think I had been playing for like an hour, you know. So like, do the math, and I kind of went to the end game on all the like for this all the games, and then here I think I hear somebody down there, but or on that side obviously things to note is like once I kill somebody, I'm looking at the map. You know, do I do it all the time? No, but yeah, and like right here, I don't know what this nutcase was doing, but anywho, um, you see, I did hear somebody over there because look, now I looked at the map and then I'm like headed that way. But what I was saying was, yeah, this is like obviously one of the bad lobbies, and this is like an hour of me playing, worth an hour, and then I've got to like the end game of like this while playing this whole hour. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but I feel like I'm making sense. Like all the games I was playing, heading I was like top five, you know, like in the end game. But it sucks because then I don't get the map rotation, you know, like this whole hour I was just playing Haven's Hollow because I kept getting to the end game. But anywho, land somewhere where you're comfortable, right? And then I get enough money for the loadout, right? And then after my loadout, I try to get a UAV. And if I could go back and have this same lobby again or like this same game, I definitely think I would have played a little bit more aggressive because I was kind of playing a bit passive. But it's because sometimes I get carried away in like these like bad lobbies and then I end up just like not really thinking about what I'm doing, more so just running and gunning. And then, excuse me, then there's no real like thought process to what I'm doing. I'm kind of just like running around, which isn't really good, you know, because like I got to think about what I'm doing here. I'm just grabbing enough money for like the loadout or the loadout. What am I talking about? The UAV, because I already got my loadout and I need the UAV. Um, Another thing I be putting down, I don't think I show it here, but I always put down lethals, right? Like the little turrets, the little sentry turrets, and then like the decoy. I even if I don't need them, like I'm that's not as you can see, I'm rocking stems and grenades. I'm still throwing those. I be throwing the sentries just in case somebody pushes me, and so I could see where they're coming from. And then here, obviously, I got my UAV. I know they're here, and I'm getting straight to business. I'm like handling. I'm playing aggressive. As you can see, like I was saying, this lobby is not that good. Um, I chow the other guy here, like easy work, but it's because of the lobby. But I pop open my map to see where other people are at, and then normally what like back to what I was saying because I kind of am losing myself in this rant. Anywho, you want to land somewhere where you're comfortable, right? Like somewhere you know the ins and out of this, that, and the third. If I already said that, anywho, you're hearing it a second time. Now does that always happen? No. What sometimes ends up happening is I get caught up in a fight and it takes forever to finish the fight. Either like I die like fully like out of the lobby or like the other team dies. That's usually what happens, right? And then um yeah, like that's unfortunate, right? Like, oh, I gotta go back to the lobby. But the bad thing about that is I end up being stuck with the ground loot and then like I never really get going. Now the like best thing to do or like what I should be doing is like always saving up and getting the loadout. But a lot of the times, like I was saying, in these good competitive lobbies, people are pushing. They see the red smoke, people are pushing. Like there's no like, oh, it's not really like what's made out to be. Sometimes people just be doing like willy-nilly stuff and they be, getting away with it. But that's not really the reality of the situation, right? And I think this brings my rant to an end. I'll leave the rest of this on. I'm pretty sure I lose. I'm almost certain I lose. I think I kind of was like just camping, I guess. But that's like really what be happening. Anywho, you know, shout out to you if you listen to this rant.
Reloading.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Loading new mag.
Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest.
Changing mags.
Gas is closing in. Nine
Loading new
left.
map.
Keep the pressure on. We've got 10 squads active in the field. Target down. Marking the rest of them.
Incoming fire. You're almost at me.
Resurgence is about to end.
Rossi,
Make it
authorizing
count.
score streak.
UAV standing by.
You're losing ground. Moving. Enemy AO.
Mission timeline
Changing
over.
mags.
UAV exiting the area.
Air armor. Reloading.
Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them.
Loading new mag.
Enemy soldier incoming. Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Get hunting. Be advised, resurgence is no longer active.